Well, hello once again. It's great to be back with you once again in this battle for correction and redirection. If you like what I'm doing, why don't you go ahead and give me a thumbs up? If you really dig what I'm doing, why don't you go ahead and think about subscribing? It won't cost you a dime. And while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and share this video? Well, one of the hot topics in the news this week, last week, week before that, last month, remains Brother Love, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, and all of his depravity. Well, I won't keep you long today. Let's go ahead and analyze the latest in this whole debacle of a life. Well, we see that even though Mr. Sean Combs has hired one of the best appeal court attorneys in the country, he is still unable to get out. We see that, as some might say, that system won't allow him any chance of fleeing justice. Well, when we look at things from every type of angle, we have to go back and think about the Epstein situation. Now, since Epstein has died, have you heard anything else regarding the potential list being released of all the individuals who was involved in his situation? Now, I'm not one to really just jump all into conspiracy, but think about it this way. Is it easier to make sure that Sean Combs keeps his mouth closed by making sure that he's in a situation and location where he can easily be touched? Now, if he's out and about, even though they talked about having ex law enforcement officers being a part of this security detail to make sure he didn't flee the country. But as we know, money makes a lot of people, let's say, change their values on life. But let's say if we have Mr. Combs locked up where we can easily get to him, how easy is it for the so-called system to make sure that he gets to a point in life where he reveals if he has any copies of all of the people who were involved in these so-called freak-offs? Now, is it possible that the only reason that Mr. Combs is actually still alive today is because individuals are still afraid that there is a possibility that if something happens to Mr. Combs, copies of the videos, lists of individuals involved, all of the crimes they were involved with might somehow get released to the press? By making sure that Mr. Combs is held tight in someone's grip, and by being locked up in those cells, you're definitely in someone's grip. Can we make sure that the pressure stays on Mr. Combs to give up where all of the videos are? Because as we know, there's all type of talk about all of the people involved in these freak-offs. These freak-offs that might involve people who are underage. So, are there a lot of people in the entertainment world, possibly political world, who are shaking in their boots? I'm sure there are. But I know that money actually sometimes really makes the world go around. And I know that there's a chance that there's a lot of money dangling around to make sure that people get their faces, their names erased from videotapes, from lists of individuals who were involved. So, do you think that Mr. Combs will survive this? And I'm not talking about just do his time in jail. I'm talking about, do you think that Mr. Combs would not be the next Epstein? Someone who somehow end up deleting himself from this world. Truth of the matter, when you make deals with the devil, when you dance with the devil, don't be surprised when the devil say, all right, here's your bill I've come to collect. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. But this is a message for all of those black and brown people who feel that if they get to a certain level in life with regards to money, that they are invincible. As you can see, that is not something that's true for everybody. There is that type of, that institution that out there that actually wants to remind certain people in society that no matter how much wealth you obtain, you're still not a part of the good old boy system. Well, until next time, which probably won't be that long, let's see if black and brown people will learn to do better. Well, I see you're still trying to run. Let's go ahead and get this over with. Checkmate. Game over.